So this little box, silver box, it's a very, very special box. Steven keeps all his magic tricks in that box. He always kept them in our dressing room here for years. But then a few years ago, we had a very weird robbery and a lot of things were stolen, and among them all Steven's tricks. So we came here like in the afternoon. We discovered that during the night was a robbery. He faced doing the show without any of his magic tricks. Evening show. I really seriously think that he, from that day, he has the post-traumatic stress disorder. I would call it like a post-traumatic stress disorder for a magician, which means in his case that he cannot be separated from his tricks anymore. So after every show, even if it's, we're going home for an hour between shows, in this magical box here, Silver, are traveling with us in our car for an hour back and forth to home, all his tricks. He basically is not going to be any more separated from them because of that shock. Well, I find it pretty funny that all his show can be in this little box, but at the same time very beautiful and poetic, that with this little space contains everything what he needs to entertain people, I don't know, for 2 or 3 hours if he needs to. Of course, this and his whole life knowledge and skills. So the robbery was really weird. During the night, somebody broke into the Magicopolis, and the first thing that we noticed in the lobby, 8 or 9 empty wine bottles from our bar. So somebody was having a time of their life drinking the wine and stealing stuff from us. Well, all this cash from both registers, the magic store and the bar was stolen, and computer was stolen, and they also removed all the bottles of remaining wine and beer. But what was the most traumatic is our dressing room. What we found here, we found a bunch of old clothes on the floor. All Steven magic jackets and magic, very elegant and expensive jackets and suits and everything was stolen. And then we have here a little restroom and a shower and a sink. And on the floor in the restroom was a lot of cut hair. Like I think one or two, I don't know. He would be doing his haircut and left us his hair. And then he stole a lot of brushes, a lot of combs, and my balsams, my creams, my makeup. I don't know what for, but it was stolen. But the most traumatic was all Steven's tricks. And for me, well, it wasn't that traumatic, but it was sad. All my jewelry was stolen, and it was expensive, but that's not what hurt me the most. It's irreplaceable because it was from my grandmother or aunt or my mother or my girlfriends, and had tremendous sentimental value, especially that I'm in a different country than my family. So you sort of carry these things. It's a jewelry, but more than the jewelry, it's something that reminds you, oh, this is my mother's earrings. She gave me that after the robbery. So I carry them for good luck. But actually, a good thing came out of that, one good thing. So when Steve was faced without any magic tricks, some magicians in the neighborhood helped him and borrowed him some magic tricks for the evening.
I'm going on now. Love you.
I love you too. But I have to finish. But he has, which he's going to do right now, exactly when he's starting the show. The first trick that he does in the show is that he borrows 3 or 4 jewelry rings from people, and he joins them. And that's not only a magic trick, it has a specific, very specific reason to do this first. So the audience would started feeling like a unit, that they introduce to each other and react as a unit. And this is a great trick to start taking them on a journey with us. And the order is very, very important when you are designing the show. So he was very stubborn, and we were doing the show, and all his gimmicks to connect the jewelry rings was gone. And he decided to do it just without any gimmicks. And it is amazing because he did it. And then for a few months, He was making very specific notes. He was training himself so looking, and he developed a routine. And I have no idea if anybody does it in the world, that he doesn't need anything to use. And the magicians know what I'm talking about and which gimmick. He doesn't use it anymore. He uses nothing. And he learn and make notes and try to use specific types of the rings that he can join them without using anything. It is amazing. Maybe one day he will share it. I don't know. Right now, just I'm blown away. It is an example that something very unfortunate happened, but it pushed his creativity. If it wouldn't happen, he would be just comfortably doing what everybody else is doing and what he was doing using this gimmick. And then he's like faced with this, and he does it without it. You know, it's a great routine. I'm very proud of him.